We're live. What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody's having a good evening. I lost my voice earlier in the week, but it's started to come back now, so I think I'll be okay as far as that goes. But I hope everybody's doing well. And as of 4:30 today, I started my vacation, and so I'm off of work for the rest of the week. So just looking forward to getting some stuff done around here and getting some videos made. Uh, see, we got Brian popping in. What's up, Brian? Thanks for coming in, man. Hope you're doing well. Like I was saying, if I sound a little funny, my voice, I just now starting to get my voice back today. See, we got Comics by the Bay. Matt, haha, the thumbnail. Yeah, that was hilarious. I knew I had to do something with that as soon as I saw TM or Travis put that up. Brian, nice vacation. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to doing a lot of different things around the house. So it's gonna be cool. Travis popping in. What's up, Travis? Hope you're doing well, man. I'm looking forward to yours and Roscoe's show. We got Silver Knot Kyle, what's going on, man? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing good tonight. We have Lady Fantastic. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. She says evening all. We have Adam collecting with Durs. I can hang for like 10 or 15. Got to get ready for Vikings Book Club at 8. I totally understand, dude. I'm glad that you popped in. I'm grateful. Appreciate you. Matt says, Scotty and all, what's up? What's going on, Matt? I hope you're doing well, man. I'll be having Matt on here pretty soon, fairly soon. So I'm looking forward to just talking to Matt about, I noticed Matt's got a good relationship with his daughter, and I just kind of wanted to have him on and talk about him and how he's able to successfully parent. And I think that would be interesting. And I want to get to know Matt a little more. He seems like a really cool guy. But let's see, we got people saying what's up to each other. Let's see what there's got you on the full recap, brother, to get that voice back. I appreciate it, dude. I'm working on it. It's coming back. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. We'll go ahead and get started though, because we got a really cool guest tonight. We have brother Marcus, Surcam Stances. Really excited to talk to him about some things, some personal stuff from his life, just getting to know him, and also talking to him about comic books. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And but basically, the reason that I had Marcus on is he's somebody that's always inspired me. He was one of the reasons why I wanted to start this channel. So I kind of owe a lot to Marcus. But I wrote this all out so I would remember exactly what to say, because I blank out on these lives. But I'll go ahead and read what I have written out so we can get going. Actually, no, you know what? Let's do the community news first. Let's go over some stuff first real quick. If any of you guys have like any news that you want to share, let me know in the comments so we can share it with each other. And but I wanted to go over some stuff. Chris Loves Comics. He recently hit 100 subs, so that was a cool milestone. If you guys don't subscribe to Chris Loves Comics, Chris is a guy that I met from Comic Corner 2.0, and he's a really cool dude. He's really into DC, and super knowledgeable about DC Comics. But he's a really nice guy, a really good guy. If you're not subbed to Chris Loves Comics, please go over and sub to him. He's a really cool dude. Next, let's see, what do we got? Mike, Evil's Comics is approaching 500. So if any of you aren't subscribed for some reason, I think you're all subscribed to Mike, but he's approaching 500. So wouldn't hurt maybe to put some shout outs or something for Mike and try to help him. Also, Marcus is like 4 subs from 600. So I'm sure he'll hit that in the next day or so anyways, but Marcus is getting really close to that. So that's really cool. Main events is a few subs from 400, and main event's really cool. If any of you aren't subscribed, see, Cat Fan said he's 10 away from 400. So that's really cool, man. Congratulations on that. And let's see, Cole recently, Cole Comic Claims hit 750. So that's amazing. Let's see. Brian LCS and Philtastic. So, as you all probably know, Brian's doing his 1K giveaway this Saturday. But I think him and Phil are switching times from what they said on that. So I guess Phil Tastic's going to be doing his live at 9 a.m. and Brian will be doing his at 11 a.m. So let's see. Let me check and make sure I'm not missing. Lady Fantastic says, congrats to all you nerds. Let's see. I'm 1 away from 700. Doing the shorts, dude. The shorts is helping me. I'm hoping to pop out just a lot of cool videos in the next week. Let's see, Matt. Brian, yes, start at 11. Give the West Coast a little more sleep time. Cool, awesome. So, yeah, Brian's 1K giveaway will be at 11 a.m. this week. And so everybody jump on Philtastic's channel for his live show at 9 a.m. and then Brian's giveaway and his breakfast with Brian at 11 a.m. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I always look forward to Brian's the breakfast with Brian shows. They're a lot of fun. Collecting with Durs he is 8 away from hitting 500. I think he's closer now. I think he might be like 4 away now. So if anybody's not subscribed to my buddy Durs, please go sub him up. He's an awesome dude. Let's see, Cali Comics will be on Between the Lines directly after this show at 8:35 p.m. He's going to be with TM Nerdy and Roscoe, and it's going to be a really cool show. If you're not familiar with Cali, he's an awesome dude. He's a really cool guy, and I'm glad to say that I can call him a friend. I've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. We've talked back and forth, and he's a really awesome dude. So yeah, tune into that next at 8:35 p.m. Let's see, do we have anything else? Jimmy Deathmatch popping in. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Comic Cap. And all right, we'll go ahead and get started. I was once told that I needed to align myself with people that I admired or that I saw as good, respectable people. And I think that's pretty solid advice. The people that you choose to have around you will have a major impact on the way that you live your life, for the good or the bad. So I've always tried post-addiction to make friends with people that I look up to, that I think are genuine, true human beings, or other like-minded people who have the ability to help me see the potential in myself. And my guest today is all of the above. He was one of the first legit comic homies that I befriended when I got back into the hobby a few years back. He helped convince me to start making videos and is partially responsible for this channel. His memes make me laugh on almost a daily basis, and I'm proud to call him a brother, as are a lot of you in this community, I'm sure. And when I began thinking about having some positive community members on the show to share about their life and comic books as well, this guy was right at the top of the list for me. So today I'm super, super happy to have Marcus on. So I'll go ahead and see if we can't bring him out. Let's see.
Yeah, here I am. What's up? Can you hear me okay?
What's going on? I can hear you great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you beautifully, man. What's up, my man? It's good to be here. I think this is my first time on your channel, so I'm pretty excited about this, man. I know we were supposed to do something a long time ago, but
Yeah,
it kind of
dude.
fell through.
Yeah, we've talked about it forever, man. It just never happened. But I'm glad it did now, though. I'm super happy to have you on here, dude.
Cheers, my friend.
Really excited.
Cheers.
I've always wanted to have just a good live, just to talk straight to you and get to know you better as a person, and just talk about some comics, man. I see you and Lorenzo, and I get jealous. So I'm glad to have you on here, dude.
You know, I
Oh,
had
you
to
got the
represent our
shirt,
dad. You know, I had to
of
represent
course.
him today.
Well,
That's our
actually,
comic book dad. We are comic book brothers, and we both have a dad named Lorenzo, who's a great dude. And I just love this comic book family, man.
dude, Lorenzo's so awesome, and yeah. We would see each other in his comments a lot. Like I would run into you everywhere, but I would run into you also in his Alternative City Comics.
Yeah,
And
you and I jumped back in the pandemic, and you and I had the same sort of life-consuming energy about collecting comics. We were both just crazy excited about getting back into it, and that was what drew me to you. You know, that's why I was like, whenever you posted on Facebook on that group we were in together, I always paid super attention. You were always so passionate, and you always had so much information to give us that I was just drawn to you. So that's why I was like, dude, you have got to do a channel. Anybody with this much passion has got to have a channel. So I'm glad that you did it, man.
absolutely, man. Yeah, every time like I would go to watch a JP's budget collecting video or Bueller or anywhere I would go, you would be there um, talking about comic books. I was like, dude, this is a cool guy. I knew
Well,
right then.
I tell you what, though, you were in the community back then, but you weren't in it like you are now. I remember telling you a while back, hey, man, you got to get out in this community and start meeting people. And
Yeah,
I don't know, it was maybe middle of last year, maybe before that, but I just started seeing you everywhere. Like everybody started knowing who you were. People I knew started posting about you. It was like you really expanded your influence in this game, man. I was happy to see it.
yeah, man. I've been trying to kind of put myself out there a little bit more. I'm typically more of a withdrawn person, but I don't know. I've tried to to put myself out there more and try to do some collabs and work with different people. And it's been fun. It's been fun. Um, but
Yeah,
dude,
I've
let's
been Oh, I was just saying, collabs have been something that I've just started doing. I am actually working on a collab with Sleepy Reader 666 right now. I'm editing my ass. I've been editing this damn thing all day. It's a 20-minute video, and I got cuts every 5-6 seconds, so that's a lot of damn work. But I'm really happy with it. I'm excited to drop this thing tomorrow. It's Comic Book Storytime Episode 2. This time, our storyteller is Sleepy Reader 666. He's gonna be telling us about a Captain America story that he read when he first got back into comics back in 1972. And I'm really proud of what he put together here, and I'm really excited to show it to you guys tomorrow, man. Check me
dude,
out.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. The last one was great. The last one had Beckerman on there, right?
We had Beckerman. He was talking about why Hawkeye never deserved a Mockingbird. And he puts
Yeah.
together a great case as to why. And I wholeheartedly agree that Hawkeye is trash and he never deserved Mockingbird.
Yeah, I loved his perspective on things, and I did agree with his thoughts on things as well. And I thought it was really interesting the way it was all put together. It was just a really good. I'm looking forward to episode 2. Really looking forward to that, man.
I'm
But
excited to
dude,
drop it.
I had you on here today because I'm like thinking I want to have people on here for different positive reasons. And when I thought of people that like I looked up to in the community or people that inspire me, obviously you're one of them. Um, so that's the reason that I had you on here. And so I wanted to know like what makes you you. I want to know a little more about you personally, as well as the comics, dude. So like I kind of want to start at the beginning. Where were you born?
I was born in St. Louis, Missouri, but I actually did not live in St. Louis. I was born in City Hospital number 1 in St. Louis, Missouri, but I actually lived in East St. Louis. But East St. Louis didn't have a hospital. So I'm always been from Illinois. back when I was a kid, but I was born in Missouri.
Okay, so you grew up out that way. You kind of always lived
I
out that
moved.
way.
I always, my dad is from East St. Louis. My dad's a black man from East St. Louis, and my mom's a white woman from Winfield, Kansas. And I've always my life has really been between those two cities, those two areas, my entire life, really. So yeah,
So
Winfield, Illinois, and the St. Louis area, and then Winfield, Kansas, Wichita area. Those are my real homes up until I moved to Kansas City, which Kansas City is my permanent home.
so did you have siblings?
I have one sister and one brother. My sister is 2 years younger than me. She lives down in Winfield, Kansas. She hates me. And then I have a little brother who's 10 years younger than me. He lives down in Dallas, Texas, and he thinks I'm okay.
Okay. What's when did comics like? What's the earliest memory you have of comic books? Like when did they first? I know you were a childhood collector. You've told me
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
What's the earliest memory? Like when did comics enter the picture for you?
So when I was a kid in the 90s, I collected baseball cards, but I wasn't a baseball fan. It was just something that I got into, and it was really kind of a stock trading thing for me. It was just, trying to get a valuable card, it was all about insider trading for me. But I went to a family reunion out in Kentucky, and my brother is my half brother. So his uncle had some comics, and they were just golden age comics, Tales of Suspense. There was a first Hulk in there. There was a first Captain America. It was like old books. And I just spent the whole family reunion in that room reading his books, just sitting there reading all of them. And I ended up trading all of my baseball cards to him, and he gave me all of his old comics. So that's what started my collection in the 90s. And it went from there.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Like when did you mentioned before that you were really into West Coast Avengers? When did you
Yes.
first pick? When did West Coast Avengers enter the picture? I want to hear about that a little bit.
So the thing about West Coast Avengers is that the reason why it was my jam is not necessarily because it was good, and actually it was my jam probably because everybody thought it was bad. So I was a poor kid, I had a single mom. My dad was a deadbeat drug addict, So we didn't have any fucking money ever. And so I wasn't able to go and buy a dollar, back then they were $1, 25. That was way too expensive. And I could, that'd be my whole budget. So I could get one damn book, or I could go to this used bookstore and buy some books for 10 cents a quarter and get 5 books. And so that's what I would always end up doing. I wouldn't buy the new books because I couldn't afford to get that many of them. I'd go into this used bookstore and pick up old comic books that people had sold back. And the thing that I was able to get a run of in there was Avengers West Coast. People were just getting rid of their Avengers West Coast. So back then it was really hard to get like a run of books and read a whole story together. But West Coast Avengers was the closest thing I got to it. So I was able to get consistent, runs through starting around 60 something. And that's why it became my favorite thing, because it was the only thing I could read consistently.
That's cool. Okay, yeah, because I always wondered about that. I knew you were super, super fond of West Coast Avengers, but I never knew why. So I knew I had to ask that.
I have fond memories of sitting up in my room, bumping some Bobby Brown and reading West Coast
Yes,
Avengers. Anytime I hear Bobby Brown 2 can play that game, that album, it makes me think of Wonder Man and Scarlet Witch and the West Coast Avengers homies, man.
that's awesome. That's really cool. So you grew up in the house, like your mom raised you. Basically, you lived in this.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a
awesome,
mama's boy for sure. Yeah. Raised by my mama.
awesome. So how was that? How was that growing up with your mom?
It was, we were poor, but you don't feel, it's not necessarily a big deal because you don't know any better when you're a kid. So
Right.
the thing that the biggest thing of my childhood was just my mother's love. We had, it was rough, and things were different then than they are now. And this is really hard for people to understand and grasp. But because today you see a black kid with a white mom, it ain't no thing, right? You see it all the damn time. It ain't no thing. But when I was a kid, it was an extreme novelty. And so whenever I would go around and be with, my mom, and, are you adopted? And you get all these sorts of things. And it was, race was way different back then. So being half white is a large part of my identity, because it it affected so many things for me as a kid.
Okay. What throughout all that, you seem to have things pretty well put together for yourself. Like you seem like a pretty well balanced guy. You seem like a positive guy overall. I mean, you make the hilarious memes, but like you seem like you have things going pretty well for you. How do you manage to like how do you balance family and a job and a YouTube channel and a comic book hobby, and stay positive and do all these things? Like how do you do that?
Because it's all positive to me. Like the where I'm 43 now and I have a job. I'm buying my house with my wife. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I didn't have kids until after I got married. I never thought I would do it the right way, but I ended up doing it the right way. And so I'm just at a spot in my life where I never dreamed I would get here. I never dreamed I would own a house as nice as the house I live in the neighborhood that I live in Kansas City. My kids' school, elementary school, is in my backyard. It's just my life is so far beyond anything I ever dreamed as a kid that it's really hard for me to be sad about anything. That's the big difference between my wife and I, is that these things that we enjoy now, my wife grew up with. She lived in one house her entire life, whereas I went to 14 different schools, K through 12. 14 different schools, K through
Wow,
12. So I never had
that's
my own house. I never had, rarely had my own room. And so for her, this is all just normal shit. But for me, it's like, this is incredible. Every day I wake up and I am amazed by my life, amazed by this house.
well. What motivates you? What's your motivation? What
My
gets you out of
kids.
bed in the morning? Your kids?
My kids, like more than my job, more than my channel, more than comic books. I just want to be a good father and I want to give them every single advantage that I can possibly give. So above all things, my focus is on my kids.
Dude, I love that answer. That's awesome, man. Um, who were some people that you looked up to growing up? I'd love to hear the answer to that.
Definitely my mother. My
Yeah,
mother was someone,
yeah.
my mother was someone that, like, we had precarious times and we had hard times. And, I lived in a homeless shelter for a while, and there was just, tough things as a kid. But the thing that was just so important was just the trust in my mom and knowing that she was going to take care of us, that she was going to get there for us, we were going to get through it. And I never, even in a homeless shelter, I never had any doubt that my mom was going to get us through. And that was, so more than anyone, I look up to my mom, especially now that I have 2 kids of my own and I have a wife, and it's hard with a wife. And my wife, all the time, I say to my wife, like, imagine doing this alone because it's so hard. It's so hard
Yeah.
and it's so much work. And there's times where it's like, it's really nice that I can just sit back while she takes care of it and vice versa. And just thinking about, and all the time I compare myself to my mom and I think about how she did it and the things that she dealt with. And my respect for her grows every day as I'm trying to do it myself and seeing how she did it. So number one, above all, is my mama, man. I'm a mama's boy through and through.
That's cool, man. And I really admire the way that you're able to balance everything. And it sounds like you do have a really awesome mom.
I do.
That's
She's amazing.
definitely something to be grateful for. What are some short-term goals? And it doesn't have to be like channel related or anything. Just I like to make short-term goals for myself, and I like to make long-term goals. What would you say some short-term goals are for Marcus? And
My
then what are
short-term,
some long-term goals?
right now, my short-term goal is to get my daughter's reading perfect. She's in kindergarten. She's already reading, and I'm just super focused on facilitating that because reading comprehension opens up the entire world. And I want my daughter to have that. So as far as my daughter, focus on getting her reading. As far as my son, I'm focusing on getting him to stop sucking his fucking thumb. I can't get him to stop sucking his thumb. Anybody in the chat, if you got tips, man, help me, because this kid does not give a shit. He does not give a
Well,
fuck.
they do make stuff that it tastes bitter that you can put on their fingernails,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I've tried that and it didn't work for me. So
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know.
My son is very stubborn, so I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, it
I have
didn't
I
work
have
with my
concerns. I have concerns. He's going to be 8 years old sucking his thumb. Oh my god.
son. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully he grows out of that. Picks up a
Yeah,
comic
that's
book.
my goals around my kids. As far as my channel, I do have a goal of really just getting more consistent on my channel. I took a long, I had a set of 3 videos a week that I would do for a long time on my channel, and they took a lot of work to do and a lot of editing to do. And
Mhm.
after doing it for about a year, I looked at my numbers and the viewership, and it just wasn't the number of views I was getting for the amount of work I was putting in just wasn't matching up. And so I took a long break on my channel as I tried to figure out, all right, what can I do to put in the same amount of effort into my editing, but get the views, and make it worth my time. And that's really been my goal on my channel. That's why I've started this collaboration thing. I started off with Beckerman, as we said. I've got Sleepy Reader, and I am working the community, begging people to give me episodes every day. So if you got a comic book story time episode, if there's a story in comic books that you love and you have a strong opinion about it, I want to help you tell the story. So hit me up on Instagram, on YouTube, wherever. Hit me up. I want to tell your story because that's my big goal. I want to start collabing with people. It's fun.
Okay, I'm sure I could come up with something for sure.
I'm ready for you.
Okay, well, here's something that I like to ask. Just I asked Durs when he was on here. There's no right or wrong answer. I just wanted to see what you might say. But what advice would you give to somebody out there right now that was struggling in life or maybe in a bad situation?
Well, that's a really hard question to answer because it seems like I would need more specifics about what they're struggling with and
Right.
what their problem is life. So I'm reluctant to try and give some generic ass answer without really knowing the specifics because a lot of times when people are struggling, I don't want to give them empty words, and that's what it would without specifics, it feels like it would be empty words at this point. But yeah, I mean, I could say try to be positive and all that shit, but who gives a fuck, right? That doesn't.
Valid. That's valid. Okay. Well, let's see. I asked you what got you into comic books. What got you back into comic books?
That's a good question. All right, so the pandemic hits, everybody's home, and well, actually, let me start back over. So I had my books from the 90s, and I stopped collecting in the 90s because I got tired of not being able to afford collecting. Like I just never got what I wanted. And I'd read Wizard and I'd see the hot 10 and I'd know that I would never have any of them, because
Yeah,
you
me
can't
too.
you didn't find those in the quarter bin. So the
My neighbor
frustration.
next door. My neighbor next door always had all the hot books, and I would never
Yeah.
have them. I had like Spawn issue 2 and 3, and he'd have like the special rare edition of issue 1, just crazy. I had to just watch him get all the cool stuff.
That would have been nice. I would have loved to have lived vicariously through someone else, but I was literally the only person I knew that collected comic books. My friends called me nerd. They made fun of me. It was something that I did completely solo. But when I quit because I just couldn't afford it anymore, I would still bring my comic books whenever I moved around, moved to college, moved to various cities here. I always lugged these things around. And over the years, I'd take them out and be like, I wonder if I'm a millionaire yet. Let me see if these Image #1s have finally blown up for me. And I'd get online and look at the prices, and I'd see that my comics were worth absolutely nothing, and I'd put them away again. But when the pandemic started, I did it again. I was bored. I pulled out my comics, started looking at them again, checking them out. I was like, I wonder if I'm a millionaire. So I got online and looked them up and saw that no, my comics are still worthless. But while I was going through that process, I found this huge community of comic book nerds on YouTube talking about comics, excited about comics, interacting with each other about comics. And that was something that I never had in my entire experience collecting comics. Like I said, when I collected comics, my friends made fun of me. They would clown me for collecting comics. I was a huge nerd, man. I'm the kind of person that because I because of my circumstances of my life, I've had to from a very early age, I had to decide not to give a fuck what other people thought. because
Yeah.
it was just necessary for my mental health. So because of that, I didn't care that they didn't like it because I liked it. I didn't need them to like it, but I never got to experience it with other people. So when I saw this whole family online excited about comics, talking about comics, I was immediately hooked. And that's when we found each other. We were both just super passionate and excited about it. And that was the mode that I was in. I was like, there's people that like comics and you don't get made fun of for it. Sign me the fuck up, man. Where y'all at? Where you been in my entire life?
Right. Yeah, man. What are some books you've enjoyed reading lately? What are you on right now? What's Marcus on right
Well, first of all, I just want to say fuck you, Tyler, before we move on. But right now, my favorite book, everybody who knows me knows my favorite shit is Erica Slaughter. There's nothing that comes even remotely close to Something is Killing the Children. It is by far my favorite thing. It's really one of the few books that I read on New Comic Book Day, the day of. I don't waste any time. I got to know what's going on. So absolutely Something is Killing the Children is by far number one. But other books, Barbaric. I know you're into Barbaric. That's one that I've been
now?
really
Barbaric's
excited
awesome.
about. I love how
Yeah.
funny it is. I love how funny the axe is. I love Owen. So Barbaric's a great series that I really got into. Billy the Kid. Anybody who knows me knows that I've been really excited about Billy the Kid from Blue Juice Comics. It's a lesser known book from a lesser known publisher, but the writer Justin Gray is one of my favorite writers, and the artist Barry McLean Jr. is one of my favorite artists. He's really superb. So I cannot recommend Billy the Kid enough. Check it out. The trade is out at bluejuice.com. Go get you that trade, man, because the volume 2 is coming this year. I've been watching Barry on Instagram with some of his panels that he's been working on, and I am beyond excited for the next chapter of Billy the Kid.
Yeah, I picked up issue 1 and it was really good. I enjoyed it, so I do need to go out and pick up the trade. Yeah, I'll have to find that somewhere. It was really good. I love the inner artwork for it. Whoever did the inner artwork,
Barry McLean is
it.
so good. He's really good.
Yes.
He's really underrated. Like I really feel like a lot more people should know about Barry McLean because he's awesome.
It's great. Yeah, it's great stuff. How did you hook up with Lorenzo? We were talking about our comic pops earlier. Lorenzo, his channel Alternative City Comics. If anybody's
There's now Indie Comics and Reviews now, formerly Alternative City Comics.
Why am I still calling him Alternative City Comics? But anyways, how did you hook up with Lorenzo, dude? How did you guys get to doing the Friday thing? How did that come about?
So every Wednesday, you just like you, I became a fan of Lorenzo, searching on YouTube, just searching comics every day, trying to find new people talking about it. I found his channel, and he's just really good at what he does in reviewing these books. And I just got addicted to his channel. I always watched every single video he dropped, commented on everyone, and through you, really. I remember on one video, I was like, "Will you be my comic book dad?" And he was like, "Sure, son." And then you were like, "Hey, I want in on this," and that's when all that started. And so just through interacting on his channel, we got to know him. And then actually December of 2021, I was like, "Hey, I would love to get on your channel with you on these New Comic Book Days and just shoot the shit with you." And I hit him up, and come by January, we were hooking it up, and ever since January of last year, we've been doing it every Wednesday. I've missed one Wednesday because of Christmas, but I've been doing it every Wednesday ever since, and I just love it. Indie Comics and Reviews on YouTube. Definitely check my man out. And I know Wednesdays are busy, but 8 p.m. Central Standard Time every Wednesday. Come check us out, man. We have a good time.
So it's Wednesday night. What
Wednesday
did you have going? What did you have going on Friday? Didn't you have something going on Fridays?
So we've had some one-offs where we'll do a show on Friday. So I know on one Friday we did the Bueller thing where we show comics. I know, and we've done a couple of Friday shows with various themes, but those are just one-offs. The consistent thing is every Wednesday.
Well, speaking of comics, you picked up anything cool in the past week?
Oh, let's see. I can't even remember last week, actually. I'll tell you though, it's not new, but I just started reading this Preacher from Garth Ennis. and I'm sure you guys have already read it, but I love it, man. I'm really enjoying it. I can't wait to see where it's going. So I can't even remember New Comic Book Day last week, and I'm not really good about reading my comics as they come in. I'm a stacker.
Yeah.
I like to read a bunch at once, so I'm not real good about reading them as they come. So oftentimes I'll get distracted by a trade, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm on The Preacher. Shout out to Garth Ennis, though. This is a great book. And shout out to John's Comics and Kids. What's up, homie? My fellow dad bod revolutionary.
Oh man, who started that? You started that shit, didn't you? The dad bod thing.
You could blame me. You could blame me, but I blame Reggie. I made a reel on Instagram, kind of explaining what happened. But it started with Reggie in Nerdy Girl. Is it Pretty Nerdy or Nerdy Girl? I think it's Nerdy Girl. She had Reggie did a remix to one of her reels where she was showing off some stuff and she was twirling, doing femininely stuff. And he was ranting about how women have an advantage on Instagram because they have their feminine features that they can use to suck us in because we're all suckers. I love a pretty woman. I'll always love one. And I was like, bro, speak for yourself. All right. I'm going to show y'all how it's done. All right. I can handle this. And that's when I made the video. I made it as goofy as I possibly could. And I remember when I uploaded it to Instagram, I was like, do I want to do this? Click. I said, fuck it, I don't care. And I clicked it. And I'm glad I did, dude. This shit was hilarious. Obviously, people were making fun of me, but I had a good time reading people made fun of me, man. I really laughed my ass off at all the comments that people were making. And I really laughed at my ass off at the people who have taken the torch and run with it. You saw John's Comics with Kids hit us with his explicit parental advisory, and then you had Comics by the Bay come through with the hot one. And honestly, I think Comics by the Bay did it better than I did it. Like his face that he made, the creepy ass face he made the whole time was so fucking good. It was better than mine. Shout out to Comics by the Bay. You did it better, brother.
Yeah, dude, Matt's hilarious. Matt's an awesome guy. So what got you started on the comic memes? What got that going?
Hey, okay, one more fuck you to John. Fuck you, Cali Comics. I am not gross. I am super sexy. So fuck you, John. I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh shit. What got you started with the memes, the comic memes, the reels?
So I mean, as you get into comics, and as you get into anything and you spend some time in it, you start to develop opinions about things. And there's a lot of things about comic book collecting that is incredibly stupid. Like amazingly fucking stupid. And I just want to make fun of that shit. And so that's where the memes came from. And a lot of that stupid shit is me, by the way. I'm not above the stupid shit. And if you look at my memes, you'll see a lot of them are making fun of me.
Oh, dude, I love it. I laugh my ass off. I think they're funny as hell. I was just kind of wondering if it came about as like an accident, or you were just like, you sat down one day and you're like, I'm about to do this. And
well, you know what it was is I just what it is I get on Instagram and Reddit and Twitter and just consuming social media, and doing that will inspire you. Like a lot of like, for example, Funny Degenerates on Instagram is a great, hilarious, funny page. Especially if you're a degenerate gambler like I am, they're really funny at making fun of degenerate gamblers. So I really enjoy them, and they inspire me a lot in terms of transferring their jokes to comic books, because there's a lot of parallels between gambling degenerates and comic book degenerates, believe it or not. So they were the biggest inspiration for me was them. Check them out.
What do you want to do with your channel, like in the future, as far as direction wise? You said you were working on obviously you're doing the Comic Viking thing, but what else are you planning for the following year, like 2023? What you got coming up?
Well, the Comic Viking thing is the thing that's coming on at 8:30 tonight or 7:30. He's doing the book show with Kingdom Come. I do the thing with the comic book story time. The first episode with Beckerman, second episode is going to be with Sleepy Reader, and hopefully
Yep.
many more episodes with many more members of this community. I know I've been working with Pocan Joe, trying to get a story out of him. I've been trying to squeeze Beckerman for another story, but he's been difficult to get a hold of. But that's my main focus right now, is just working on this collaborative effort. I really would like to drop one every Tuesday. I wasn't able to drop one last Tuesday. Thankfully, I'm able to drop one this Tuesday, and just hitting up the community, begging them to give me a story, man, so I can edit the fuck out of it.
Cool. What's on your hunt list right now? Like, what are some comics you're after?
Man, I really would like to clean up. What up, Biggie Shack? What's up, homie? I'd really like to clean up my Something is Killing the Children run. I am missing 2, 4, 5, and 6. And those are really expensive books. Obviously, I don't have a first print number 1. I don't plan to ever get one, though. I have a 7th print and an 8th print. That's good enough for me. But I'd like to have a print of every single issue. So that's my biggest goal, is to clean that up. As far as that, I am working on my next run that I want to get. Last year I did the one West Coast Avengers cover per day until I showed my entire run. And that, there was a lot of love for that one. I think people enjoyed that one. I'd like to do something like that again. I don't know what my next run will be. I have a lot of Avengers Volume 1, but obviously I'm never going to have the whole run. But I'd like to do that. I'd like to figure out my next run to complete and do that again.
Okay. All right. So is Something Is Killing the Children? Well, I don't know. Is it still good? Is the run still good? I jumped off after like issue 21. Is it still like?
I'm the wrong person to ask. I'm the wrong person to ask because I'm a stan. I'm a stan.
Are you on House of Slaughter? Are you on that one?
Yeah, I'm on all of it. Everything.
Okay. How was the? I didn't pick up the Book of Slaughter. How was that one?
I liked it. The Book of Slaughter was really just a compendium kind of a thing.
Okay.
Kind of giving you, just expanding the world a bit, giving you more information. And it also introduced a replacement for Erica Slaughter, which was a really cool character that I'm interested in. But when people say, is it good? I'm the wrong person to ask, because like, I just love it so much, is it good? I don't know. I like it a lot, though. It's my favorite thing. I know not everybody's still into it, but I've loved every issue. I have not, it's not fallen off at all for me.
Cool. What what's some other stuff that you're currently on that you would say you would recommend to people? You said Barbaric. You said Something Is Killing the Children. You reading anything else right now?
I'm reluctant to recommend things to people because people think differently and they have different opinions. And the thing that I love, like Beckerman, my homie, he thinks Something Is Killing Children is stupid, which I think he's stupid, but not everybody feels the same. So it's hard for me to say, but like my favorite thing, Something's Killing the Children, obviously. I'm enjoying the Captain America books, both of them, Symbol of Truth and Sentinel of something or whatever. Both the Sam Wilson and the Steve Rogers stories. I'm into that one right now. I'm working on catching up on that. Like I said, I'm reading The Preacher. I'm enjoying that one. I'm reading Saga, which is another fun one that everybody gets into. I'm reading the trades on that. What else? Man, I'm reading some Kickstarters. I've got Hope from Justin Gray. He's the writer of Billy the Kid. He had a Kickstarter called Stand Still, which I'm working on. Okay. It's a horror book where just one day everybody in the world freezes and stays where they are, but they're still alive. And it's a really interesting horror book, and it's kind of like a apocalyptic kind of style. So I've been enjoying that one. And then he's got this new Kickstarter that just finished called Hope that I'm looking forward to reading. But I'm all over the place, man. It's hard for me it's hard to pin me down.
Yeah, I am too, man. I got here lately, when I've been going out on the hunt, I've been trying to find, like, I've been putting together like the little 4-issue limited series runs, like the old Marvel 80s and 90s ones, and I found these a couple days ago. But the Rawhide Kid issue 1 through 4. So I was gonna read those this week while I'm on vacation. But I've been picking up a lot of those. I found the Black Panther one. I found 1, 2, and 4 of it. I'm just missing issue 3. Um, I've been putting together like a lot of those little mini. I don't know if it's a mini series or limited series, but I've been putting together a lot of those here lately, and just kind of, I don't know. I'm on the She-Hulk run as far as runs go. That's not
I'm
really
enjoying that
been.
one.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, like
enjoying it.
it's been pretty decent. Like, and I love that they're using Jack of Hearts. Like, I love that they're using that character. I
I
do
never
think
heard
that
of
it's
him before that.
I, well, I do think that it's going somewhere interesting. And I love the more than anything, I love the. I got to get it for the cover art. But,
Yeah, Jen Bartel killed. I love
yes,
Jen.
every single month, man. Every cover is just amazing.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for her style. I'm a sucker for her style, and I'm a sucker for Jenny Frisen's style. Just a complete
Yes.
sucker.
What top
Later,
5 cover
John. Thanks for
artists?
coming. Thanks for coming through, John. Good to see you. Top 5 covers is, Jenny Frisen is up there. Man, top 5 covers of all time. Is that what you're saying?
It's
I've never really.
Yeah, dude. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
What
I
name 5 cover artists that you love? Just do that.
well, I mean, Jenny Frisen, Todd McFarlane, from the 90s. Love me some
Yeah.
Todd. I'm a sucker for all that stuff. Jen Bartel is another great one. Tula
Yes.
Lote. I love Tula Lote. She's got a really cool style.
That's one
Who
I'm not
else?
sure I'm familiar with.
I might be saying her name wrong. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, she had a great like Homesick Pilots cover that I just absolutely, yeah, Tula Lote, that's her name, that I absolutely love. She just has a kind of a distinct style that I really enjoy. I love Bjorn Barons. He's great. I like his digital style that he comes with. In Hayek Lee is one of my favorites. Absolutely. I'm a sucker for what he
Yes.
does. Although he hasn't been as, I mean, he's still good, but he hasn't been as good to me lately. But he's still one of my favorites for sure. Um, God, what other? Oh, Jeff, one of my homies, Jeffrey Edwards. Jeff Edwards is actually a friend of. I can call him a friend. I feel like I got to chat with him at Planet Comic Con, and then we got to chat at Heroes Con. And then I saw him at a local show here. He did me a sketch cover for me, and I hang out with him on Wednesday nights after I get off with Lorenzo on his channel, Jeffrey Edwards Illustrated. He's a great artist, really cool dude. He's definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, I could go on and on for artists. I'm about writing. At the end of the day, if the writing is trash and the art is good, I don't want it. But if the writing is amazing and the art's not so good, then I want it, because it's about the writing for me at the end of the day. But I do love art. I love it.
Who are some writers that you enjoy?
Oh, well, number one, of course, long live King James Tynan the Fourth. Nobody
I already
comes.
knew.
Yeah, nobody comes close to him. Oh, you have a story about a monster hiding in the shadows. Sign me the fuck up, James. I'm all the way in. I don't give a fuck how many times he writes it. I want to know about it. So yeah, he's by far number one. Justin Gray is up there as well. Like I said, Billy the Kid, Hope, Stand Still. He also wrote Jonah Hex with Jeff Palmiotti. So he's another one that I really enjoy. God. And you're blanking me. You're putting me. Oh, I'm really enjoying Scotty Young as a writer. Most
Yeah,
people
dude.
love him. People love him as an artist, and he's great. But I really enjoy him as a writer. Strange Academy is fun. The Me You Love in the Dark was one of my
Hmm?
favorite books last year.
He's
I
great.
really enjoyed that one. So yeah, Scotty Young's up there. John's Comics and Kids talks about Jeff Lemire. Absolutely, he is on my list. I enjoy a number of books from him. Was it May's book? Was great from him. That Batman and Robin story was great. God, there's Little Monsters from Jeff Lemire. That's amazing. I love that
He
book.
has
Um,
Jeff Lemire has a free comic book day edition of one of his new projects. It'll be, what's it called, like Fireflies or something like that. But it's a Jeff Lemire book that they're going to do for free comic book day this year. So I'm
I'll
going
have
to
to,
check it
I'll have
out.
to check it out. John's Comics he also mentions Rick Remender, who wrote The Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, which you asked me what I would recommend. I would recommend Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. Absolutely. It's 11 books. It's 11, just 11 issues. Grab that trade. It is heart pumping stuff. Like there, you get to a certain point in that story where they show, I don't want to spoil anything, but you get to a point in that story where they show you something. And then from then on, I was completely locked in on that book. One of my top books from last year was Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. Definitely check out John's Comics with Kids. He did a review of that book that I really enjoyed listening to. So check that out. Absolutely read that one, though. If I'm going to recommend one, I'm recommending that one. Shout out to the chat. I love y'all. Thanks for coming through. Norin, Lady Fantastic, who has been killing it on the hunt. I love watching her on there. Brian LCS, home of the CBC Awards. Really excited about last year. He killed it. If you have not watched that, go to Brian's channel and check out the awards last year. It was really a great time, a fun, beautiful celebration of this community. I know last year, the first year, there was a lot of controversy around it. People mad about it. Like, who does Brian think he is? Things of that sort. And there was a lot of negative energy around it. But that negative energy was largely gone the second year, which I was really happy to see. And it really grew in the second year. And I thought the show was a lot of fun, just celebrating this whole community. Which if you pay attention to me, you know that I love this community. Because as I said, when I was a kid, I didn't have any friends like you guys. My friends didn't care about comics. They thought I was a nerd for reading the comics. So that's why I just love y'all so much, because I never had y'all before. And it's just so nice to have like-minded people to talk about these things and not even necessarily just listen to talking about. And that just goes back to when I first got back into it, just that excitement that there are people like me who get excited about these things and are into it. I just get drunk off of it, man. It's my favorite.
Absolutely, man. Me too. Frank, we got Frank's BS in here. That's a dude I met. I've been talking to him back and forth a lot over the past week. What's up, Frank? He's a really cool dude. Homie? He's a hardcore Funko Pop collector. Really cool dude, though.
Staying away from that, buddy.
Don't go down away from
the Funko Pop. No action figures, no cards. I'm staying away from that because I'm broke enough collecting these comics. I can't add. I don't make that kind of money.
Dude, you don't want to go down that rabbit hole, man.
You did have that one action figure. Which was it? I was like, oh, that one's nice. I kind of do want that one. What was it? I can't remember.
He Who Remains.
The Kang one. Yes, that one was awesome.
Yes,
I'm excited for Kang.
Some of those Marvel Legends, dude, they really do a good job on. That was a good one. Really good.
Statues, yeah, definitely no statues. Although statues, I mean, if I had money, I would get into statues. Actually, those are awesome. But I ain't got money. That's awesome.
That one got me.
That is really nice,
dude. As soon as I saw it, that one got me. But I refuse to. No, I won't get any of the really big ones. What? I can't afford them.
I like G. Willow Wilson. She's cool. Yeah, I love me some Beta Ray Bill. Hoping we get to see him in the MCU here. I think we might.
Yeah, I hope so. Such a cool character, and that last series last year was really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it from Daniel Warren Johnson. Yeah, really good.
Yep.
I like that guy a lot. He's another one, artist and writer that should absolutely be on the list.
Yeah, the art, the writing, everything was really good, dude. Man, I really appreciate you showing up tonight, man. I've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Happy to be here, man, and thanks to the chat, man. I love seeing y'all out here, man. Thanks for coming through. I know there's a lot going on tonight, so thanks for staying with us tonight.
Yeah, for real.
What up, TM? I didn't see TM in here. What's up, homie?
Oh yeah. Everybody, be sure after you leave here to head over and check out Between the Lines with TM Nerdy and Geek Out with Roscoe. Special guest tonight, Cali Comics. So that's
cheers,
gonna be
Cali.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really awesome show. I'm looking forward to that one a lot. Really cool guy, friend of mine. It's gonna be a good show.
Yeah, he's another one of those Comic Book Corner 2.0 homies. And definitely check out Cali's channel. The dude has amazing giveaways. Check him
Look,
out.
I got a stink bug on my cup randomly. Check that out.
That at least it ain't inside.
And I picked up my cup and was like, what? But anyways, dude, thank you so much for showing up and being on the show and just hanging out, man.
Thanks for
I
having
really
me, man.
appreciate it. And if any of you guys all know Marcus, but if you've never checked out his channel, please go sub him up. Awesome guy, definitely deserves it. And
I'm 4 away from 600. Damn it.
4 away, dude. Like seriously. Congratulations in advance, though, dude. It's awesome. You're doing really cool things. I love your channel. I've always been inspired by the things that you do, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, and I appreciate you, man. Like you've been a good friend to me. It's really been, like I said, the best part of this is having homies to talk to about comic books because I don't have anybody around me in my, in my personal life that do that. So I appreciate y'all so much, and you've been one of my biggest friends from the beginning. So I appreciate you, man. Thank you, and let's keep doing this damn thing.
I'm always gonna have your back, man. I'm waiting on my Marcus shirt to come in the mail now. I was hoping it would get here for tonight, but it's not here. But
which one is that? Is that one from Legion, or did you make one?
Yeah, no, it's Legion, dude. It's I got it off of his website. It's Legion Comics, but it's you opening your jacket and it's got the Legion logo. So
yeah, that thing took off. Like, yeah, I posted a picture. I was really excited about my "Something Is Killing the Children" shirt, and so I posted it to the gram, and then Scotty was the first one to do it, to take it. And then you just set it. You just set it off, dude. Everybody, followed you. It was crazy,
dude. There was like, I don't know, like 20 people did it after that. I was like, yes,
that's so it was awesome. Crazy. I kept getting tagged. I was like, okay, there's another one. Okay, all right. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it's fun. It's it's fun being known in this community, and I really enjoy it, and I hope to meet more and more every day.
Hell yeah. Dude, man, it's been fun. Everybody, let's go check out Between the Lines. Marcus, dude, have a good evening, man. Everybody have a good evening. I love you guys. Much love. Later.
Greatest song ever, Lady F. Thank you.